Good morning and welcome to the Millennium Forum. Please take note of your nearest emergency exit and in the event of evacuation, follow instructions from Forum staff. I'd like to remind you that there is no smoking anywhere in the building and that all mobile phones must be switched off. Photography, filming or recording of any kind is prohibited in the auditorium. Thank you for your attention.
1, 2. Good morning, everyone, and very welcome to Magee Campus's summer graduation ceremony this morning. Could I ask you all to stand for the commencement of the ceremony? Thank you.
I declare open this graduation ceremony. Please be seated. Vice-Chancellor, graduating students, university staff, guests, it is once again my great privilege to address a graduating cohort of Ulster students. So, here we are, 50 years on from the establishment of a second university in Northern Ireland. Last week I was addressing the latest batch of students to graduate from the university at the Coleraine campus. Ulster, Northern Ireland's civic university, was established back in the 60s. 1969, what a year that was. Man landed on the moon. The Beatles played their final live concert on the rooftop of their London recording studio. Believe it or not, the last of the original series of Star Trek aired, just like Ulster University, going where no man nor woman had gone before, the final frontier. There was life, Vice-Chancellor, but not as you know it. 1969 was the year of Woodstock, with a stellar cast, finishing with the great Jimi Hendrix. He famously said, "If it was up to me, there wouldn't be no such thing as the establishment." More on that theme later. It was the 60s. Sex and drugs and rock and roll. Not like a university life at all. Harvard researcher Timothy Leary was urging the world to turn on, tune in and drop out. And clearly, as you are sitting here today, you've managed the first two and somehow or other avoided the last one. Seriously, your achievement has been outstanding. All that effort to dress up and get here on time. In 1969, a gallon of petrol was 6 shillings, about 30p. I'll leave it to the backbenchers behind me to explain the terms gallon and shilling. They existed before the UK joined the European community. I'm sorry to say you might need to get to know them again. So, here we are, 50 years on from the establishment of a university in Ulster, and the latest cohort of students to graduate from the university at this campus are as sensational as those that have gone before. I really mean that. Your achievement in completing this stage of your studies is indeed fantastic, and you should be so proud, as I know your family and friends are. You are worthy successors to the many previous generations of students who have walked, in some cases stumbled, damn those heels, across this stage. And I, as Chancellor, representing the university, am proud of you. Whatever you do in the future, you will always know what you have achieved over the last few years of study. As you graduate today, remember, every end has a new beginning. Today might be the last day for some of you as students of Ulster University, but I believe your learning will continue after today. Be prepared to learn, explore, make new friends, and challenge. At university, you started a journey where you set the rules and guided yourselves. You left your comfort zones and started to steer your own path. Your time at university will have opened your minds to new thinking, new challenges, and above all, new opportunities. You are, of course, unique and will rise to those challenges in your own unique way. As Beethoven said in his own language, Fürst, was Sie sind Sie durch Zufall Geburt. Was ich bin ich durch mich. Fürsten hat es und wird es noch Tausende geben. Beethoven gibt es nur einen. I can guarantee you I'm the only man from Brisbane quoting Beethoven today. For those of you who don't have German, that of course means prince. What you are by chance and birth. What I am through me. There are princes and there will still be thousands. Beethoven, there is only one. Sounds better in German, to be fair. But you're intelligent people, you get the point. There is only one of you. And your time at this university has given you the skills to shape your passion and to enable you to contribute to society in whatever way you choose. Now, I knew there was a reason I referred to Jimi Hendrix's comment about there being no such thing as the establishment. There is some thought goes into these words. I suppose Hendrix, and many like him, would have been considered anti-establishment. Indeed, the 60s, particularly 1968-69, saw many challenges to the establishment across the world. Student protests and riots in many countries called for change broadly in the space of individual freedoms and human rights. And I suppose if there's a point to these words, it is about the importance of the role of universities, and critically, the students, graduates and staff of universities, to pose questions, to accepted norms, and to redefine the establishment to reflect society rather than society conforming to some sort of constructed norm. So, it's not for me to respond to Hendrix's comment on your behalf. I hope I've done so in some way in my own right. But as I have the privilege to address you, I believe it is incumbent upon me to encourage you, as you graduate from here today, to create new norms and shape the establishment that you want, to develop communities and societies which, whilst recognising the importance of individual rights and freedoms, also uses those rights and freedoms to the benefit of all. Enough, I hear you say. We get the message. Today you want to celebrate, and celebrate you should, and by the look of you, you're all ready to hit the town with your family and friends. My sympathies are entirely with the staff of the Metro, Bentleys and Sugar of the night. Party away. But once the partying is over, I would ask you to reflect again on the role you will have in shaping the development of society. Just over 50 years ago, the landmark Civil Rights Act of 1968 passed into law in the United States a few days after that great campaigner Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. On a more sombre note, can I pay tribute to my great friend and graduate of this university, Ivan Cooper, a key driver in the civil rights campaign here. Ivan, as you know, passed away recently, and I and the university community are deeply saddened by his passing. As I finish, I can do no better than to leave you with the words of that great man, Martin Luther King, as you embark on the next stages of your life's journey. He said, "The trailblazers in human, academic, scientific and religious freedom have always been nonconformists." Congratulations again. Enjoy the rest of your lives. Thank you. In accordance with the wishes of the Senate and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I have conferred honorary degrees, and other academic distinctions of the University of Ulster on those named in the conferment list approved by the Senate. I call upon Dr. O'Neill to present Michael Joseph Gerard Hutton for the honorary degree of Doctor of Science.
I'm honoured today to celebrate the role that Michael Hutton has played in developing young people through education, sport and community engagement. Michael's work as a primary school teacher, voluntary community activist and driving force behind what has become one of Europe's most significant youth soccer tournaments is testament to his commitment to transforming lives and inspiring an active generation. His principal vocation has been in education, and he enjoyed a long career in primary school teaching, supporting and encouraging young people during their formative years to develop emotionally, socially and intellectually. Alongside his sporting interests, he is active in his local church and volunteers as stage compere during the annual Feis Gura Colm Cillia. For almost 3 decades, and during some of the most challenging years in our local history, Michael Hutton's leadership of the Foyle Cup Youth Soccer Tournament has been admirable. As chairman of the tournament, Michael is the driving force and champion. He works closely with sporting partners and sponsors, O'Neill Sportswear, to ensure the continuing growth of the tournament as a key part of the events calendar of this city and region, and as a platform for promoting greater integration and inclusion within and between communities. His selfless dedication to the tournament has put the city on the global map and significantly strengthened the fabric of this local community, both economically and socially. In the period of the historic Good Friday Agreement, and as part of Impact 1992, Michael, then teaching full-time, launched the Foyle Cup with just 8 competing teams. Since then, his energy and passion for football, combined with his strong belief that cross-community sport can contribute so much to society, has grown the tournament into one of Europe's premier youth competitions. In terms of numbers, the figures tell their own story. In 2019, the tournament will see a record 400 teams from across the world play in over 1,500 matches on 45 pitches and at 35 different venues. As you can see, it has grown exponentially since those initial days of 8 teams on a single day. International interest continues to build, and later this month, teams from across Ireland, the UK, mainland Europe and the US will descend on the city to take part in the traditional opening parade, leaving our own Magee campus before competing in the contest. The Foyle Cup draws droves of soccer families to local hotels and restaurants and attracts scouts from notable clubs on the lookout for talented young players. In recent years, it has welcomed girls' teams at a range of age levels and delivered a Sports for Disability competition for those up to the age of 14. Michael has been at the forefront of ensuring that all participants recognise, understand and respect difference in all its forms, and that they develop the skills and attitudes required to value equality and diversity. A wide range of household names have played in the tournament, including David Beckham, Ryan Giggs, I can see our Chancellor getting excited there, Robbie Keane, Paddy McCourt, Daniel Lafferty and James McLean. And of course, many of these have gone on to win international honours. No doubt there are some stars of the future among the young players coming to the city over the next few weeks. But the festival is very much about fun and family, as well as football. The tournament provides opportunities for local communities to present the best of what we can offer, to promote good relations and rebuild confidence through increased social interaction. It has been exceptionally successful in creating a shared platform for the local, national and indeed international community to come together through sport for sustained and meaningful cross-community interaction. Like our Chancellor, I usually follow the red half of Manchester when it comes to these kind of tournaments. And over the past year, Ulster University has developed strong links with Manchester United, signing a 3-year agreement to work with the Manchester United Foundation to deliver United the Business to schools across the Foyle learning community. This programme is aimed at enhancing the skills of our young people and introducing them to various pathways that they can take towards apprenticeships, higher education and employment. Michael Hutton has been a key figure in supporting this initiative. One of the club legends, and of course another Ulster University graduate, Sir Alex Ferguson, famously said that hard work will always overcome natural talent when natural talent doesn't work hard enough. In these challenging times for young people, this graduation ceremony is a great opportunity to acknowledge the hard work and the dedication of our students. Now, more than ever, it is imperative that we celebrate our youth, their energy, passion, positivity and potential for future leadership. Michael's work with the Foyle Cup validates Sir Alex's sentiments. Sport, much like education, requires hard work to reap rewards. Against a backdrop of increasing childhood obesity, the physical benefits of sports participation are clear. Undoubtedly, children, and indeed all of us, need to move more, and being on a team or involved in a sport is a great way to stay healthy. As educators, there is a growing body of research that links physical activity to improvements in achievement. Sport does not have the power to deliver better health. It can allow participants to create and set goals, develop perseverance, determination, and also cope with failure, build character, develop a mindset for success, and understand teamwork, build enduring friendships, and improve communication skills. Initiatives such as the Foyle Cup, led by Michael Hutton, therefore provide building blocks for our young people, enabling them to develop fundamental skills that they will use again and again in education, in work, or in everyday life. Today is an opportunity to thank Michael for his vision as an educator in using sport to inspire, build stronger communities, heal divisions, and tear down barriers. Chancellor, this university, through our 5 and 50 strategic plan, seeks to transform lives, to drive innovation, to stimulate creativity and culture, and to make a positive contribution to society. The work of Michael Hutton and his commitment to our young people aligns with this ethos, values and aspirations of this institution. Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you Michael Hutton for the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa for his remarkable contribution to the development of young people through education, sport and community engagement.
Michael Joseph Gerard Hutton, in the name of the Senate, I present to you the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa. I call upon Professor Murphy, Dean of the Doctoral College, to present candidates.
Chancellor, in the name of Senate, I present to you candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Elaine Catherine Duddy. Ksenia Kudenko. Claire Emma Wilson. Kevin Patrick Breslin. Gary Cullen. Olawumi Ann Fidei. Attila Corrick. Yogesh Kumar Meena. Dheeraj Rathi. Linda Michelle Hegarty. Natalie Mary Hegarty. Vice-Chancellor, sadly, 2 of our students, John Langtree and Eamon McCrossan, passed away over a year ago. Today, we are awarding the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in recognition of their academic achievements. John made a remarkable contribution to the research in the School of Psychology and his work will have a profound effect in helping our understanding of traumatic stress in firefighters. I invite John's son, Ethan, to receive the award on behalf of his father. Eamon's research centred on overcoming the divide between composer and performer in contemporary music through the utilisation of new technologies. Eamon was a deeply musical thinker, a rare combination of scholar and musician in equal parts, who gave so much to his musical community as both practitioner and teacher. I invite Eamon's wife, Neola, to receive the award on behalf of her husband. Chancellor, this concludes the presentation of candidates from the Doctoral College.
Thank you, Professor Murphy, for presenting candidates. I now call upon Professor Carmichael, Associate Dean of the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, to present candidates.
Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you the candidates for the degree of Master of Arts in Irish Language Translation, Interpreting and Professional Language Skills, Joanne Kelly. The degree of Master of Arts in Museum Practice and Management, Andy Martin Hart. Julie Caroline Isherwood. The degree of Master of Laws in Commercial Law, Donald Alexander Smith. The degree of Master of Music in Creative Musicianship, Catherine Reid. The Postgraduate Certificate in Education, Further Education, Brendan Oliver Darcy. Joseph Andrew Galliner. Denise Pauline Macaulay. Joanna Heidi Rodich. Peter William Semple. Paul Gerald Ferguson. Finula Gabrielle Fox. Deborah Augusta McDade. Kieran Martin McGavigan. The degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Drama, Alice Devlin. Jonathan Everett. Carrie Louise Birch. Aoife Kaur. Joshua Hobson. Jonathan Hoey. Jessica Keir. Orla Loughran. Sean McCaffrey. Caitlin McAlern. Anthony McKeown. Owen Thomas Francis Robinson. Jessica Patricia Shaw. Chloe Thomas. Cora Kennedy. Jessica Lawrence. Kenise Michael McElvenna. Shay Michael McKernan. The degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Drama with Advertising, Tegan Georgia Mitchell. Jane Morrow. The degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Irish Language and Literature, Amy Doherty. Margaret Rose Donnelly. Lauren Kerr. Katrina Niboyle. Catherine Louise O'Connor. Mary Columba Peoples. Shannon Maria Clark. Kathleen Ann McCulloch. Rhiannon McInteggart. Sean O'Giveny. Adrian Traynor. The degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Irish with Drama, Sinead Nakulaim. The degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Irish with Marketing, Sean Peter McKenna. The degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Irish with Music, Brian O'Gallagher. The degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Music with Drama, Alice MacDonald Tate. The degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Music with Irish, Edward James Gribben. The degree of Bachelor of Laws with Honours, Adam Laird. Gloria Ann McCulloch. Lauren McDowell. Gemma Ann Francesca McIntyre. Thomas John McMullen. Claire McVicker. Jennifer O'Fidel. Ema Mairead Sweeney. Jivan Atul. Kevin Barr. Ethan David Campbell. Stuart Canning. Stephen Colvin. Owen Connolly. Marana Devine. John Charles Douglas. Colette Harkin. Kiva Lynch. Laura McEldowney. Jamie Kevin McGuinness. Shane Moriarty. Jordan Sharma. Carolina Skivit. Megan Waterworth. Samuel Patrick Cameron Watson. Courtney Wright. Shannon Cosgrove. Gary Doherty. Grace Ferris. Lorraine Kelly. The degree of Bachelor of Laws with honours with accounting, Oliver Talley. Podrick Smith. The degree of Bachelor of Laws with honours with Human Resource Management, Elizabeth Murray. The degree of Bachelor of Laws with honours with Sociology, Kirsty Lewis. The degree of Bachelor of Music with honours and Diploma in International Academic Studies, Peter Hollowood. The degree of Bachelor of Music with honours, Rachel Ann Clare Craig. Anne-Marie Devine. Peter George Alexander Easton. Sophie Emma Glass. Lauren Hegarty. Grace Elizabeth Jane Hill. Beth McElhatton. Aoife Mary Mullen. Megan Ryan. Kerry Stamp. Aoife Duffy. Michael Fearon. Tia Finnis. Kieran James Patrick Gallen. Megan Grant. Jared Green. Tara Griffin. Lauren Harkin. Lauren Suzanne Hutchinson. Connor Colm Andrew Kearney. Erin Hannah Kennedy. Jonathan Robert Mayers. Sarah Mabin. Natasha McCoy. Shannon McLaughlin. Dermot Peter O'Donnell. Glenn O'Hanlon. Diane Sharkey. Katrina Shaw. Matthew Andrew Woods. Amy McIntyre. degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Cinematic Arts and Diploma in International Academic Studies, Jan Ellen Ann Wishart. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Creative Technologies and Diploma in Professional Practice, Andrew John William Glendinning. Patrick Gribben. Kyle McGowan. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Cinematic Arts, Richard Armstrong. Connor Barrow. Dara Brennan. Rory Campbell. Cahir Cassidy. Sophie Donnelly. Robin Garvin. Lucinda Margaret Harrison. Tiernan Hatchell. Adam Luke Holden. Aidan McAleer. Scott McClintock. Ella McDade. Helen Rose McElroy. David McIntyre. Callum Milligan. Leah Morris Nelson. James Patrick Thomas Neeson. Christopher O'Neill. Benjamin Porter. Jason Riley. Nathan Rooney. Connor Rory Shearer. Peter Shields. Casey Smith. Thomas James Smith. William Rees Suffren. Dylan Tierney. Christopher Boyle. Siorcha Crichton. Sean Daly. Enda Hart. Jack Higginbottom. Chloe Marie Jordan. Jack Kane. Laura Ann McCourt. Adam McKee. Shannon Noble. Brogan Ward. Matthew McGrath. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Creative Technologies, David George Cochrane. Shauna Murphy. Kimberly Ann Elizabeth Neal. Justin Palmer. Thomas Carlin. Dara Coyle. Karina Gorman. Bradley Mallon. Stephen McElhone. David McKee. Thomas Pattison. The Diploma in Irish Language, Ivor Joseph Faulkner. Bara Glass. Sean Hegarty. Gail Denise McCoon. Christine Anne McKenna. William Robert Ivor McKeown. Michael Peras O'Kalia. Brina Catherine Brown. Dermot Kevin Devlin. Mark O'Hagan. The Certificate in Teaching, Emma Maeve McDade. Alison McLaughlin. Justin John George Sterrett. Chancellor, this concludes the presentation of candidates from the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences.
Thank you, Professor Carmichael, for presenting candidates. I call upon our honorary graduate, Dr. Hutton, to address the congregation on behalf of those who have been presented.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of Council and Senate, distinguished guests, graduates and recipients of awards, ladies and gentlemen. I attended my own graduation many years ago in the Ulster University Coleraine, and my wife's graduation here in this campus, Ulster University Magee, as well as graduations of all our 7 children. And so I thought the times for me attending graduations were over. That was until I received a letter from the Vice-Chancellor encouraging me to accept an honorary doctorate in recognition of my services to the community and education. And it was an easy decision to make, as I have so much respect for those associated with this university, in particular the Vice-Chancellor, Paddy Nixon, and the Provost of this campus, Malachy O'Neill, who has taken the time since receiving the position of Provost to reach out, engage with, and recognise the tremendous work that is going on at community level by so many people. I thank Malachy for the kind words afforded me prior to the receipt of my award, and I can tell you, hearing those words coming from a man I consider to be a friend and for whom I have the utmost respect and affection, gave me a deep sense of pride in all that I have been involved in over the last 35 or 40 years. I would like to thank Ulster University for this much appreciated award. I was fortunate to have the privilege to spend most of my employment years as a primary school teacher in the parish of Tamnairn, where I worked with all the kids I came into contact with in order to encourage them and help them realise their full potential and prepare them to become respected and valuable citizens in the future. At this point, I would like to thank the parents of all those kids whom I had the pleasure of teaching in Mullaboy Primary School for their kind support and understanding. I guess now, on reflection, I was always destined to be a teacher, for having passed my own 11+ examination and gone to St. Columb's College, I was encouraged by my parents to tutor my own brothers and sisters to help them realise their full potential. At the age of 28, when I realised that my playing career was over due to an ongoing knee problem, I became a football referee and offered my services to the local Derry and District Youth Football Association and was co-opted in turn onto their management committee. I have had many years of pleasure refereeing youth football, progressing to Irish League senior standard and international standard, but this would not have been possible without the support of so many members of the Derry and District Youth Football Association, many of whom have become lifetime friends. Noel Crampsey, Jobby Crossan, Jerry Doherty, Raymond Carton, Eamon McLaughlin, Raymond Soule, Philip Devlin, and the late John Ugg Clifford, to name but a few. In 1992, the Foyle Cup began as a one-day tournament catering for just 8 teams, and with the support of many coaches and managers over many years, we have succeeded in growing this event into being regarded as one of the best football tournaments in Europe. From such humble beginnings in 1992, this year will witness an entry of no fewer than 424 teams travelling to the city and district from all over the world: USA, Canada, Europe, England, Scotland, and Ireland, north and south, for a 6-day festival of football that will bring more than £2 million into the local economy. More importantly, this event is affording us the opportunity to begin to heal the divisions of our past as we bring together players of different religions, colour, beliefs, nationalities, and most importantly, accompanied by their parents, to experience life in this city during the Foyle Cup event. Remembering that this city has set the standards for others to follow in terms of what is achievable, reconciliation, and resolving parading issues. The Foyle Cup parade of 6,000 plus young people, surrounded by 2,000 family members, happily, joyfully, and colourfully parading in a most peaceful and respectful manner through our city centre, is a joy to behold and is a challenge to every community in the north of Ireland to create something similar. The event offers the coaches and managers opportunities to encourage kids to follow a healthy lifestyle, create lifelong friendships, learn the importance of self-discipline, create a strong work ethic which will benefit them later in life, develop teamwork which is required in almost every profession, create mental toughness. But most importantly of all, it affords coaches and managers the opportunity to show these kids how a role model can and should behave. I spoke recently to a teacher at St. Columb's College whose team had just become 5 nations champion in soccer. And he said that he believed as a football coach it was affording him the opportunity to help form the citizens of tomorrow, as indeed his own club manager had done so successfully with him that he now looked upon him as a second father. I spent many years also as a member of the St. Vincent de Paul Society and would love to have been involved in other groups providing for the community, but time does not permit this. It has been a privilege for me to be involved in the community to this level, and as I stand here in front of you, graduates of Ulster University 2019, I ask you to consider becoming a volunteer in our community. Mark today, the day of your graduation, as a day when you decide to put something back into your community, our community. For our community, your community needs you. When you look around in this city and you witness the magnificent work which has taken place, you wonder what would be possible if we had more volunteers. There is a demand for more volunteers within all organisations, whether as a coach, a team manager, volunteer support worker, or committee member. As I reflect back in time, how society has changed, but not necessarily for the better. A reflection from my past. Back in the days of shillings and bobs, when mothers had patience and fathers had jobs, when football team families wore hand-me-down shoes and TV gave us only 2 channels to choose. Back in the days of threepenny bits, when schools employed nurses to search for the nits, when snowballs were harmless, ice slides were permitted, and all of our jumpers were warm and hand-knitted. Back in the days of hot ginger beers, when children remained children for more than 12 years, when children respected what older folks said, and pot was a thing you kept under your bed. Back in the days of Listen with Mother, when neighbours were friendly and talked to each other, when cars were so rare you could play in the street, when doctors made house calls and the police walked the beat. Back in the days of the famous Grange Hill, when butter was butter and you ate your fill. It was stew for dinner and nicky cakes for tea, and your annual break was but a day by the sea. Back in the day of Dixon Dock Green, Cracker Jack pens and Lions ice cream, when children could freely wear national health glasses and teachers all stood at the front of the classes. Back in the days of rocking and rolling, when mobiles were things that you hung from the ceiling, when woodwork and pottery got taught in schools and everyone dreamt of winning the pools. Back in the days when I was a lad, I can't help but smile for the fun that I had. Hopscotch and roller skates, snowballs to lob, back in the days of tanners and bobs. Our society has certainly changed. As our politicians squabble, argue and disagree, there are ever-increasing demands placed on our crumbling health service, education, unemployment, welfare cuts causing mental health issues. There is more and more need for volunteers to step forward and help those most in need in our society. Look at the work being done in this city alone. The Friends of the Hospice and Macmillan Cancer, fundraising to ensure this much needed care is there for the sick and the dying. Foyle Search and Rescue, nightly patrolling our river. Relay for Life, which last month raised over £200,000 towards cancer research with a vigil in St Colum's Park. Other organisations such as Cruise, Samaritans, St John Ambulance, St Vincent de Paul Society, to name but a few. All of these organisations need our support. And the best support we can afford them is our time. I often think of the words of this beautiful song, Go Tell Everyone, and I won't sing it. In particular, I focus on the line, tell the prisoners that they are prisoners no more. There are many in our society behind bars. Bars of bereavement, bars of physical pain, bars of mental ill health, bars of family dysfunction and poverty. They are crying out in hope. Hope that we as members of society can reach out and support them. I can personally assure you that what you give, you get back tenfold in return. Volunteering is a two-way street. It can benefit you and your family as much as the cause you help. Volunteering gives you the opportunity to practice and develop your social skills since you are meeting regularly with a group of people with common interests. Volunteering is good for your mind and your body. Volunteering can provide a healthy boost to your self-confidence, self-esteem, and life satisfaction. Volunteering helps you to stay physically healthy. Helping others kindles happiness, as many studies have demonstrated. Volunteering gives you the opportunity to practice important skills used in the workplace: teamwork, communication, problem solving, project planning, task management, and personal organisation. Bear in mind that the most valuable skills you can bring to any volunteer effort are compassion, an open mind, a willingness to do whatever is needed, and a positive attitude. Volunteering also provides you with renewed creativity, motivation, and vision that can carry you over into your personal and professional life. The last persons I wish to mention today are my wife Anne, mother of our 7 children, and indeed my own deceased mother. When God created woman, he was working late on the 6th day. An angel came by and said, "Why spend so much time on her?" The Lord answered, "Have you seen all the specifications I have to shape her in? She must function in all kinds of situations. She must be able to embrace several kids at the same time, have a hug that can heal anything from a bruised knee to a broken heart. She must do all this with only 2 hands. She cures herself when sick and can work 18 hours a day." The angel was impressed. Just 2 hands? Impossible. And this is the standard model? The angel came forward and touched the woman. "But you have made her soft, Lord, so soft." "She is soft," said the Lord, "but I have made her strong. You can't imagine what she can endure and overcome." "Can she think?" the angel asked. The Lord answered, "Not only can she think, she can reason and negotiate." The angel touched her cheeks. "Lord, it seems this creation is leaking. You have put too many burdens on her." "She is not leaking. It is a tear," the Lord corrected the angel. "What's it for?" asked the angel. The Lord said, "Tears are her way of expressing her grief, her doubts, her love, her loneliness, her suffering, and her pride. This made a big impression on the angel. Lord, you're a genius. You thought of everything. A woman is indeed marvelous. Lord said, indeed she is. She has strength that amazes a man. She can handle trouble and carry heavy burdens. She holds happiness, love, and opinions. She smiles when she feels like screaming. She sings when she feels like crying. Cries when happy and laughs when afraid. She fights for what she believes in. Her love is unconditional. Her heart is broken when a next of kin or a friend dies, but she finds strength to get on with life. The angel said, so she is a perfect being. The Lord replied, no. She has just one drawback. She often forgets what she is worth. So to all the mothers here at this graduation, that summarises what I think of you. This is as much your day as it is your son or daughter's. I would like to congratulate you, the graduates, of all your achievements. Today marks the beginning of a new and exciting new phase of your lives. Your degrees provide a valuable qualification and a stepping stone, hopefully, to job security. I congratulate your parents for the support afforded you in your development years and who share this day with you. As you're leaving university and embarking on the greatest adventure and possibly the biggest challenge of your lives, moving back in with your parents. As you take your photos today with your parents, make things look natural. Don't be putting your hand around your dad's shoulder. If you want the photo to look natural, put your hand in his pocket. Thank you, Ulster University, for this honorary award, and thank you, this auditorium full of graduates who will go on from here today to shape the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Hutton. I now call upon Helen Rose McElroy, or is it McElroy? She can correct me. A new graduate in the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, to propose a vote of thanks. Helen Rose.
Chancellor, academic staff, fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends. I am honoured and deeply humbled to speak to you on behalf of those graduating today. These past few years have seen us through some of our best and worst moments in which we have tested our limits, pushed our boundaries, discovered new paths and people, and allowed ourselves to grow and learn whilst doing so. We have taken our experiences and used them to form our own narratives to define who we are and what we stand for. We are the authors of our own real-time biographies, and each of us sitting in this room today will all look back on our time at Ulster University with very different tales to tell for years to come. In the words of a well-known and well-loved author, Dr. Seuss, sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Whether it is looking back and realising you'd wasted money paying rent on a house when you were a full-time resident in the Magee Library, whether it was relying on both the physical and emotional support of your friends on a gruelling Thursday morning after sugar, or whether it was simply going out on late-night drives for coffee and turning the car radio up loud, I believe we can all agree that no two stories are the same. Throughout this chapter of our lives, we have all had our own subplots, twists, and turns. We have had our own mixtures of comedy, tragedy, and drama, with perhaps a pinch of horror from time to time. However, if one thing will remain the same throughout all of our stories, it is that they have all intertwined at this moment, at the conclusion of this incredible chapter. One that has taught us so much about our respective fields of study, our peers, acquaintances, and ourselves. We are all here today to celebrate and reflect upon these past few years together, as well as to look to the future with confidence, hope, and inquisitiveness. But before we turn to the next blank page to delve into a new chapter, I would like to take this moment to celebrate and acknowledge all of whom helped us reach this point. To our lecturers and all the academic staff, who encouraged us and never gave up on us despite our own spells of self-doubt and writer's block. We would not be where we are now without your unabated patience, guidance, and enthusiasm for what you do. You strive to provide the very best for the students and are the backbone of Ulster University, creating an inclusive, driven, and exciting atmosphere that has not gone unnoticed. We are so grateful for the incredible knowledge you have imparted onto us, and may it serve us well in the careers we set out on after today, and may you also continue to find success and happiness in what you do. To our friends and families, our pillars of support, whose own experiences and stories have so heavily influenced and affected our own. Throughout everything, you've been both our shoulders to cry on and our shoulders to stand on. You've been a foundation on which we have built and moulded our own character and have shared in our every failure and our every success. You have stuck by us through thick and thin and will continue to help us along our journey no matter where it takes us next. We cannot express enough gratitude for the time, effort and love that you have always showed us, and we can only hope that you feel the same way in return. But most importantly, to you, the graduates, the authors and lead roles of your own narrative, congratulations first and foremost for your incredible achievements. You're more than deserving of it and should be so proud of yourselves. Your hard work and dedication has paid off, and hopefully your celebrations will reflect that justly. I hope you continue to strive to greatness and find the strength and courage to obliterate any obstacle that may come in between you and your dreams. Equipped with the knowledge and experience you've gained from your time at Ulster University, may you continue onwards to write a new chapter as inspirational and deeply profound as this one. It has been a pleasure to walk alongside you on this journey, and I wish you nothing but happiness and fulfilment in wherever your story takes you next. And no matter what, make it bold, make it unique, and make it fearlessly yours. Thank you all so much, and thank you to everyone who has supported us along the way. We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen Rose. Is it McElroy or McElroy?
McElroy.
McElroy, right. Had to get that right. I don't fancy a clout from your mummy or your daddy afterwards. Just to echo Helen Rose there, this is now an opportunity for you to say thank you. Sat here, you're surrounded today by mothers who bore you, parents who nurtured you, who cherished you, who've chastised you at times, who have been driven demented by it at times, no doubt. But they sit here justifiably proud, these parents and these friends and family, of your achievements today. And I'm sure you'd like to thank them. So put your hands together for your friends and your family. I declare this graduation ceremony closed and invite the new graduates to join the academic procession.